We didn't even decide who starts this thing.
We did not decide who starts this thing.
Okay, what's going on, you guys?
Because there's no leader here.
I mean,
there
is.
And it's you.
This is my boss, Sis, but he tells everybody he works for me.
I do.
I know.
I completely work for her.
So here's what's happening, you guys. If you are familiar with our website, iStandardProducers.com, we welcome you. We thank you for being part of our creator fam. Mm-hmm. If you're not familiar, you're whack. You're twisted. Your girl's a hoe. No, I'm just playing. But if you're not, we do this thing on the site called the chopping block and the credit checks. They're two things, right? The credit checks is where we list all the credits on any project that we deem is important to the culture, and by the culture we mean the music creator community, not just hip hop culture, because sometimes Backstreet Boys drops an album and that's a thing that we have to be concerned about.
Because we are music lovers.
Music lovers. And then also because, like the people who create the music are diversifying their portfolios or whatever. So you'd be surprised at who ends up on those credits.
That's right.
The flip side of that, and the name of this podcast is The Chopping Block. The Chopping Block is where we go to break down projects that come out that we think are of interest. Mm-hmm. We try to keep it to things that we think we're going to love. And then sometimes people disappoint the fuck out of us. What's up, Lil' Kim? Hope 2020 is off to a great start for you.
That was a tough listen.
So basically, once a week, between our internal staff and the rest of our Right Squad, which consists of a few creators that are part of our creator family, we'll go through 2 by 2, sometimes more, sometimes it'll just be one person, listen track by track, and let y'all know what we thought about the project. That's not what this podcast is going to be.
No.
We don't have time for track by track.
Nah. But we do have time to talk about people who show love to their producers, people that show love to their engineers, people who show love to all the people that help the creative process, their songwriters. And that was why we started the whole, creator situation, was to make sure that we know who's doing what. Because, like, we used to have liner notes, you open up an album, you look at the artwork and you read, like, who did what.
Right. Literally how I kind of got into this business. Like, I just used to pour through liner notes and try to figure out what people did. So, we're here to show love to the creators, the people that are behind the scene that don't always get their credits. And we are also here to celebrate great music. So you can count on us to be here once a week. Today's show is going to be a little bit different because it is the first show of the year, because December for us was all about our creator awards and Beats on the Beach, which is also our Beast of the Beats, which I can't ever say straight.
Because we did Beats on the Beach and Beast of the Beats, and it's kind of tongue
Beats twisted. On the Beach, which featured Beast of the Beats and also Power of the Pen, because we're a literary superheroes out here or something. I don't know. Super wide in this bitch. So today's show, we're going to talk about some of the joints that we loved in 2019. We're going to talk about some of the joints that we forgot we loved, some of the joints that we forgot even came out. And then we're going to give you guys a little kind of preview of what you can see on the site tomorrow, because our Right Squad is currently breaking down some of the releases from December 2019 that we missed.
Right.
So that's what this podcast is going to be. You guys, welcome.
Welcome.
Drop an air horn for Combat Jag. We
had to. The best to ever do it.
Best to ever do it. And shout out to Willpower and the Bandwidth family for letting us crash their amazing studio to come and
let us hang with Dylan.
Around.
You let us hang with Dylan, man.
Hey, let us hang with Dylan in the Dylan room. All right, so because I am a nerd, a different kind of nerd than Sis, I really wanted us to have like this whole like breakdown of the albums. But I think what's really telling about last year, there was so much music that came out last year, and there's so much of it that we completely forgot.
Yeah. 2019 was chock full of releases every week, and a lot of them just, I don't know, they didn't stick. They did not stick the landing. So,
I feel like also like 2019 had to be a smooth 413 days. It was a few extra.
It felt
like
the
longest fucking year.
It did.
So, as a result, we forget that things like, LeBron James A&Ring 2 Chainz' album was a thing.
Right. That was a whole thing. And
the album was really
It was a good
decent.
album. It was a really good album. But so many things happened, news cycles and music alone move so swiftly, and they just it was kind of like they didn't sustain that energy that albums did in 2018.
Right. The interesting thing I think about 2 Chainz and about street execs in general, and shouts to street execs because that's fam. They do moments really, really well.
Right. They do.
They've had some of the most creative marketing campaigns.
Pink Trap House.
They definitely laid the foundation, I think, for like Love Renaissance to come in and do some of the things that they do. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they expected the LeBron thing to be enough to sustain interest in Rapper Go to the League. I don't know if it was maybe that it needed one more single. I really don't know why that album, because it was not a bad album. It was full of great raps.
It was.
The Ariana Grande joint,
that
I still listen
Cardiac
to
produced.
That
Cardiac and Hitmaker on that joint.
Let us just talk about the fact that that
bro, he had a joint with Marsha Ambrosius, produced by Dem Joints. Like he dug in the bag. He dug in his creative bag. He got amazing beats. He got amazing people involved in the project. They did amazing marketing, and it went away. He had Francis and the Lights on this joint. Like they went in.
So the project dropped March 1st.
It did.
So that may be part of why, because it just was so long ago. The singles was Girl's Best Friend featuring Ty Dolla $ign, which right now in this current moment, I cannot tell you what that song sounds like.
It's terrible.
I'm sorry. It's honest. And that's what you guys can always count on Ty for, honesty. Let me see, what else? Like you said, there was a joint with Marsha, which was really good. Ninth Wonder produced.
Also, shout out because Girl's Best Friend had Ty Dolla $ign.
Right.
And it was produced by Cardo and Des Wright. And that sounds like a recipe for a hit.
Right. No, listen, we can go back and listen to this album. We're not going to do it right now. And I'm certain that we love more songs on this than we realize.
He had joints and people. He had FK Out First. He had 30 Rock. You got Mike Dean. You got a Pharrell joint. You had Terrace Martin and Mustard.
You had a Pharrell joint featuring Kendrick.
So
here's the thing. So here's the thing about this album, right? So my new favorite thing to do now is to just let Google Play make me a playlist, right? So what I do specifically is I'll have it wake me up with a song in the morning, and once that song is done, it'll just play music for an hour, and I'm rediscovering all kinds of shit. And then I can ask it what's playing, and it'll tell me, right? There's 3 songs off this album that just popped up last week, and I was like, oh shit, this is amazing. I forgot I love this song.
Even now, looking at this list and these people and these songs, I have to go back to this album. I feel like I didn't get a chance to love this album. And the question is, whose fault is that?
Wow.
Because did Street Execs and did Chainz do enough? Did they care enough to ride the album out? Were they just like, okay, we put it out, cool.
It's here.
We got our core audience, and they're enjoying it, and we got other things to focus on because we know 2 Chainz is a personality.
He was a busy guy.
He's a busy guy. He's got a lot going on. So, maybe making music is not as imperative for him and for the team as it used to be.
Okay, so we're going to go back and listen to this album. We'll tell you next week why we feel like we forgot about this album. And if y'all, want to chime in at any point.
He had a bunch
of... And that's the one that came up the other day that I heard. So look,
Jacob,
he is at Scissorp with 2 Z's, Scissorp215.
Shout out to KY Engineering too, man.
And then I am at Saint Boogie on all social media platforms. The platform is at iStandard on everything. Like chime in, tell us what as
Shout
you're
to
listening
Nolan
to this.
too, man. Nolan's famous.
What we've forgotten. Like I don't even know who these people are that you're shouting at anymore.
Well, the crazy thing is, if y'all saw the Producer Grind interview with Charlie from Street Exec, he was talking about Nolan. Nolan is 2 Chainz' recording engineer.
Oh, okay.
So,
My bad.
they gave tips on how producers could get to an artist. And one of the ways is, through the engineer. Because, I'm pretty sure Chainz would be in there like, Nolan, what you got? You got some tracks or whatever? So, yeah.
So let's talk about a couple other people who dropped projects that we forgot about. Rick Ross. Am I the only one that forgot?
Rick Ross did put out an album this year.
I was very disappointed. As a former Dade County resident, I don't even say Miami-Dade. That's how y'all know it's real. As a former Dade County resident, I was disappointed.
I don't. Once again,
you were not. You did not agree with me when I was like, eh.
Yeah, I enjoy Port of Miami too. It also suffered from
being Port of Miami 2 as opposed to being a whole new album.
Yeah, because it's tough to live up to, Port of Miami, the original. But there are some joints on here that I still listen to, and I think I think my favorite joint off this album is clearly nobody's favorite with Gunplay. Like it's just something about it.
I like that one though. But
I just played it the other day. I love the video too because I think the video. So what they did, and this is smart.
Mm-hmm.
The video came out not too long ago. So, they had a rollout.
Oh, so they're going like the regular.
Right, so they were still putting out content throughout the year. That video is fire. Got the house on the river. They in Miami. It's on the yacht.
I couldn't tell you anything about that album. I listened to it though. And I don't know if you remember, like I listened, I was so excited and I listened and was very disappointed. I think that one of the things for me was that I feel like Rick Ross has done a better job than a lot of people at staying in pocket as a rapper, but also evolving. And this just sounded really stale to me. It sounded like leftover cuts that maybe he recorded for Port of Miami and didn't put out.
So there were some highlights. There was some really highlights to this album, and there was some okay, that's cool moments. And I think
joint that you just said was a highlight.
So highlights for me.
Big Time, produced by Just Blaze and featuring Swizz Beatz.
That was not a highlight for me.
Oh,
unfortunately, I wanted it to be a highlight. It wasn't a low light.
That's how
I'll tell you what.
That's how I felt about the why am I Justice League joint? I was like, yay! Ooh.
So that wasn't a low light for me. I think because so Maybach Music 6 was so.
I'm sorry.
So I enjoyed the production. I enjoyed the feel.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt like the moment wasn't captured.
Right.
Like
it didn't give you that same vibe as the previous ones.
Well, first of all, it was only 2 people, and it was supposed. I think what really killed it, Pusha T was supposed to be on that. That was the one that Pusha T was supposed to be on, and I think once that didn't happen, it kind of soured it for a lot of us. It was luxurious. It sounded luxurious, but I also like the other joint that they did on their Vegas residency.
Wait, Pusha wasn't on there?
No, well, somebody like leaked this verse or something.
Oh, that's what it was.
But on the official album, it's just Wayne.
This album came out when was this? Hold on, I'm scrolling, you guys. I'm sorry. This is the level of preparedness. This album came out in August. We should not be not remembering this album.
It's been a long year.
It's been a really
It's been a long year. But, like I said, when and I did a chopping block on this.
You did.
So I went through with the guys and we listened to it. They got Isley Brothers joints on here. Shout to Toomp with the I Still Pray joint with YFN Lucci and Ball Greasy. Like,
anytime Ball Greasy is on something, I'm excited.
I'm
excited.
You don't get much more Florida than Ball Greasy.
Right.
So, I mean, it had moments, but I think the weak moments hurt the album because you're used to a certain flow of a Ross album.
See, and you said you didn't like this Just Blaze joint, but the chopping block begs to differ.
Did I?
Yeah, you were like, bring out the big boy drums.
Okay, so that wasn't it. Okay, no. There was another
There
one.
has bodies on
So
it.
which one was
like a classic hoe.
Which one was I really disappointed in? Because I had one.
Just had two on here, I think. Right?
No, there was one that I was like, why did that even happen?
Rich Nigga Lifestyle. I enjoyed Rich Nigga Lifestyle.
I'm trying
That's
to
the one I
think.
remember.
There's literally one on here. I was like, y'all could have left that where it was. But overall, I had a favorable view of this album. Once again, I don't know if it's the rollout. I don't know if it's them keeping my interest. I feel like artists don't care. Like, they put out music and they're like, all right, cool.
Right. Well, see, and that's the thing is that, like, so when you work on the marketing side of things, somebody somewhere keeps telling people that they just need to just keep putting music out. I don't know why people are being told this, but somebody is telling them, and I don't know why the bigger artists really feel like everything is so disposable, like put it out there and then move on to recording something else. I don't know if it in certain situations, it may be that you really sat with it so much longer than any of us know. And so you're so tired of it that you're ready to move on to something else. But like you said, I feel like definitely 2 Chainz probably could have gave us 2 more like singles with a video and something.
Like, come on, y'all.
Give us some excitement about it.
Chainz and Thug, y'all got to do it for the hood, man. We gotta be out on... we got to be out on MLK. Like,
he's married and he's happy. He gave us an Ariana Grande song, and it's amazing. And it took A. Marie's classic "Why Don't We Fall in Love" and gave it a whole new level.
Cardiac, man.
And then now I listen to both of those together. Every time one comes on, I got to go listen to the other.
Yeah.
We were talking about people, and really that being kind of a trend that really took off over the last 5 or 6 years of specifically going and getting music from the late 90s, early 2000s and sampling those R&B. And like Cardiac did an amazing job on that.
Yeah. He's had a good year with that. And shout out to Hitmaker. I got to give it up because he, and this is from conversation with Cardiac, he had visions of certain joints that he remembers that he wanted producers to bring back. And I heard rumors that he's got a book. And he might have pulled it out on the Joe Budden podcast. I'm not sure. I feel
like somebody confirmed that rumor.
But it takes a lot of vision. Also, shout out to Paul Cabin on that too. I Standard alumni had a really good year once again. I'm seeing a lot of first timers, a lot of people that are still keeping it consistent. So,
yeah. What was I going to say about that? I forgot it. So there it goes.
Shout out to 6 Cents too, man.
Real quick, let's just run through some other people who dropped things that we thought we would care about and they didn't, and then we didn't. Dreezy dropped an album. I thought that I would have cared about that.
I don't even know it happened.
I didn't know it happened either. Nav, I feel like Nav was somebody that we wanted to really, really care about.
We did, but it just didn't. I don't know. It didn't work. We wanted to give it that XO love, but it just didn't happen. I don't know, because I think the joint before that, I think he put out one in 2018 that got a little bit more traction. I don't know, man. It just, what was the single on that? Because I couldn't tell me. Somebody could hit us up and let us know on social media. Let us know what Nav's single was.
Future, y'all be caring about Future. I don't check for Future.
That was The Wizard, right?
Yeah.
So
there was a whole film involved with this.
He did.
Right?
He had a whole documentary. He went to New York and.
Couldn't tell you anything about it.
Because first of all, it was an Apple Music exclusive.
Oh, yeah, so there you go.
We got to stop with the exclusive. I mean, it's cool like to premiere it one place, but the whole exclusive situation is just goofy.
Right. You guys,
it just really is.
Even Jay-Z lets things fly after a week or so.
Right.
Off a title.
And he's got a title.
After they got my money.
Right.
Because they got my money for that Carter's album, like, on site. Soon as the alert went out, I was like, all right, Tidal, here go your $10. Give me the stupid album. It's
everybody
fine.
signed up for Tidal after either that or Lemonade.
No, see, I had signed up, and then I shouldn't even be saying this because I have so many friends in the building, mentors even. But yeah, I be dipping off on Tidal, and I'll come back. But no, like I think that's one thing definitely that hopefully we will stop doing now is limiting things to certain platforms. But back to how much more y'all be caring about Future than me.
Oh, so
because I can't tell y'all anything about this project.
So that happened in January when they dropped the video, "Jumping on the Jet," and that song still randomly pops up in my head because that's what Future does. He gives you songs. He had a video for it. That was one of my favorite joints, "Jumping on the Jet." Other than that, I really couldn't tell you much about The Wizard.
So what I be knowing about Future are the songs that fuck around and find my attention somewhere,
Right.
i.e. a club or the radio.
And what was that record this year?
Well, I don't think there was one this
Right.
year.
And
I'm
that's
trying to
weird
see.
because shout out to the strip clubs in Atlanta. Always heard
Which you
a
visit
Future joint
for research purposes.
for research purposes
Uh-huh.
with my young lady.
Mm-hmm.
We both visit for research purposes.
Amen.
We yeah. So, but it's always a Future joint knocking, and I just don't know what that was this year. So, and I mean, he had the.
And I mean, in his songs, listen, as much as I want to deny Future, I saw Future at Music Midtown, which is a big festival here in Atlanta. Music Midtown is one of those things where it's really kind of a little bit of all kinds of music. So whatever hip hop acts they have on there, it's usually a pretty big deal. It's a really big name. That particular year, it was like, I want to say Wiz Khalifa, Big Sean, and Future were the rap acts that were featured. And I enjoyed the fuck out of Future's set.
Right.
Future has hits. He performs
On
them
hits,
really
on hits, on
well.
Right.
As much as you don't want to love them, you're going to end up loving them. Like some of my favorite ignorant anthems, like if I have to get wanting to fight somebody out of my system, I'm probably playing Future songs at the house. And that happens sometimes.
So what happened with the Wizard?
I don't know.
And once again, is it a question of things just moving too fast? Because I'm looking at the stats.
I think it's a question of people overestimating how much the fans care.
But see, here's the thing.
I think that with him particularly, it got to a point where people were more concerned about his private life.
Yes,
And
that
stop
is
caring about
also
the
true.
music.
But I also what effort did him and his team put forth to make us care about the music? You know, I'm a stats guy, and I'm looking at the stats, and I'm seeing an album that should have worked. I'm seeing all the names that you want. I'm seeing TM88. I'm seeing Southside. I'm seeing ATL Jacob. I'm seeing Fuse. I'm seeing all the homies. I'm seeing Mike Dean. I'm seeing Travis Scott. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing Richie South. I'm seeing everything that should have made this a banging Future album. But
somehow
it just didn't work for most of us. I don't even know if anything charted.
I really think that, and I don't know if the kids care about Future anymore. Somebody ask your kid, because y'all old. Y'all got teenagers. Somebody ask your kid if they care about Future anymore.
So here's, what my kids think. So I have a 12-year-old who specifically, she's like in her music bag, right? So
okay.
she's all in the K-pop and all the little Billie Eilishes and all that stuff. And it's more about artists that are personalities or that have like that wave built around them, that I guess maybe Future's fan base is not that wave anymore. But I can't always say that because there are artists of his age or older that are still being successful.
But here's the thing. The artists of his age or older are doing grown-up things. And we're not sitting here with like 1,500 baby mama drama articles every 3 days.
But if you made
and
music,
that being the focus.
I feel like still that could work if you tied that into your music. Like, I feel like it's a missed opportunity. And maybe it's just because the money's not there anymore, and maybe because he can live off of his old stuff. Like, you can go do a concert and just play one new song from your new album.
Right.
And then do all your other stuff and still get your bag.
Right.
And you don't really have to...
In conclusion, we're saying he's lazy.
Because I was going to say, Future also put out a mixtape. I mean, he put one of his mixtapes out, and the only reason I know it is because it was the mixtape with Commas, and Commas is not on.
Right,
the
and that was when
version.
this is no. Oh, he put out one of the mixtapes as an album.
The mixtape that
Commas
was on came out on streaming, but Commas is not on there, and I was upset.
And I feel like you mentioned that, and I reached out to somebody so we could find out why.
Like, where was Commas? Like, was there? It had to be some clearance issue or some problem.
We gonna find out
because we need to figure that out. That was the biggest song in the world, man.
Let's see. I'm going through this list because we asked like the crew to tell us other, like projects that they thought that we should talk about. Y'all were really excited about this Lil Nas X project.
Panini. So, what was cool?
Say y'all.
What was cool about it was there was so many people that was like, this kid was a one-hit wonder. So many people wanted to write this kid
Oh, he's a
off.
star.
So many people wanted to write, Keo off. Oh yeah, I got this song. It's gonna die down. It's gonna die down. It's gonna die down.
It never
and then
died.
it just never died down.
Fucking never died.
It never died down. And not only did it not die down, you saw this kid getting in the studio with other producers and just making songs, Panini,
Right.
and all these other joints that work.
Good songs from what you guys, and like to be clear, I never got around to listening to it. It wasn't like an on purpose thing, but I only heard good things about
See,
it.
I went back and listened to his old stuff before they wiped his SoundCloud, and I was like, yo, this kid. That's what I based my opinion on. I listened to before you knew who he was, Lil Nas, and I'm like, yo, dude is fire. He's got some joints. And it was all, it was different kind of flavors. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm trying to make country rap tunes. So that means it's about him.
The real country rap.
It's about him, and it's about who he is as a person, not necessarily about the gimmick of that particular song.
Right.
So that means that somebody like that can recreate it again, because that means he can be produced. He's able to get in the studio.
Oh my God, Schoolboy Q's album came out this year.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I'm so sad. I'm so sad. 2019.
It was so good though.
2019.
I really enjoyed that album.
So sad.
Crash Talk was the shit.
Crash Talk was, and we covered that on the site.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
So Crash Talk came out in April.
Shout out to Schoolboy.
Num Num Juice was on there, which I love that song. Like I don't think there's a song on this project that I didn't like.
Nah,
I really enjoy Schoolboy Q.
And we've been waiting for Schoolboy because he's like one of the great personalities in music. Just regular ass dude. I remember the first time I saw him years ago in New York at Nokia, whatever it's called now, Best Buy, or they changed it.
They changed it again.
The theater.
It's something else. I think it might be closing.
Whatever
now.
Corporate sponsor.
I think it's closing now.
For the XXL freshman concert, where he wasn't. He didn't even make it. Danny Brown made it, and he was there performing with Danny Brown, but. He just always had a dope energy about him. And, I'm always
Especially
excited.
because he comes off as, his aesthetic is really not an energetic aesthetic.
Right.
But I don't think I've heard a single Schoolboy Q verse or song that I didn't enjoy.
Right. Because...
And that's the same with Crash Talk with the album.
Yeah, Chopsticks was fire. The joint with Travis Scott. He had joints on the album, and... I enjoyed it for as long as I enjoyed it until the next thing came out.
Shout to DJ Fu.
Shout to DJ Dai.
All over this. Yeah, it's funny because, and then this was coming off of a good space for TDE in general. This was 3-4 months after J-Rock, right?
So let me
J-Rock was late 2018.
He was. And let me highlight something real quick because Baby Keem is up next, and everybody's saying that Baby Keem is. Oh, now everybody's starting to notice Baby Keem. I picked up Baby Keem because he produced on J-Rock's album, and he also produced records on this album.
Okay.
So if you don't know, Hakeem Carter, aka Baby Keem, is the guy that you'll be hearing about as the next whatever. Shout to Cardo because Cardo is his OG, but he produced a lot of work on this
here.
He Num Num Juice. He's a co-producer on that with the homies Nez and Rio. Shout to them, Chicago and DJ Fu. You know what I'm saying?
Shouts to Fu.
He also did Lies. So
so that's the next guy.
Baby Keem. Check out his artistry. He's a dope producer, but you can find a lot in these credits.
So here's my question. And this is for you, and this is for. Excuse me, you guys, the listeners. This is what happens when I want to eat chocolate while we're recording. So how are y'all listening to music today? Because me personally, until very recently, I can tell you, I have this mega playlist called Morning Awesomeness. That's just a list of shit that gets me hyped in the morning. But I created the playlist when I was really, really depressed. So there's a bunch of shit that pops up on there sometimes when I just be like, oh, yeah, let's get this off the playlist. I add shit to it every day. Anytime I hear something that I really love that has a lot of energy. And that's mostly what I listen to. I listen to that and I listen to my Afrobeats playlist. I've started to purposely go back and listen to albums. I went back and listened to Lucky Daye's album, which also came out this year, which is fucking amazing, which has ridiculous vocal production on it. I don't know why more of y'all are not talking about Lucky Daye. I don't know why more of you guys are not talking about Lucky Daye. But anyway.
Because for me, I need that discovery from a bunch of people telling me you need to listen to this. So now that you're saying you need to listen to this,
You guys.
I take all my cues from my friends.
Right.
I have friends with incredible ears, and that's where I find out about new stuff.
Hey, you guys. There's this kid named Lucky Day. He dropped an album called Painted. Painted. Painted.
Mm-hmm.
The single was called Roll Some Mo.
Roll Some Mo.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
My favorite song on there is a song called Karma. I listened to Karma 5 times in a row on Saturday. I listened to it twice today before I came here.
Mm-hmm.
Go listen to this Lucky Day album. But anyway, so how are you guys discovering music? I think that's the question. I think that's the thing that a lot of people need to figure out. Like, and then once you've heard an album, your favorite rapper drops an album, are you going back and listening to it?
So for me, I do the playlist thing as well. I generally start from, I use YouTube Music, and I generally start also Tidal as well for the credits and stuff. But I generally start from the new music playlist, or I'll be in their new section, like of what's new this week, singles or whatever, and they'll have a playlist, and I'll let that kind of rock, and then I'll see like what dropped, and then listen to things that pique my interest or whatever. So I try to be involved in that conversation on Thursday and Friday of what's about to happen and what's happening, so I can be hip and be in the know.
I feel like you guys all stay up and listen to everything that drops every Thursday night going into Friday, and I be sleep.
Yeah.
And y'all be really excited about shit in the morning, and I be like,
yo,
so
did
what
you hear
now?
This?
Do what now?
Yeah.
Yo, I hate to do this, but on a list of things that we were really excited about that we forgot that we were excited about, I have to put that Dreamers album, and I have to put Rhapsody on there.
So we're gonna because that's we're about to have a whole North Carolina conversation, because North Carolina did their thing
definitely
in 2019. Big shout to J. Cole and the whole Dreamville camp. Big shout to Rhapsody, and also cannot forget. Who can't we forget?
We can't forget the baby.
But you know what?
Is that not who you were talking about?
No.
Who were you talking about?
Come on, little brother.
Oh right. Oh shit. What up,
but yo, you know it's wild. It's wild because shout out to Charlotte, but Charlotte is so overlooked that I didn't even. It's weird, like the baby being from Charlotte. And me, spending time in Charlotte, it's just never been a musical destination.
Right.
Charlotte's always been NASCAR. It's always been NASCAR.
So let's talk about North Carolina finally kind of getting their moment this year, right? Petey Pablo been trying.
He tried.
Petey Pablo tried 20 years ago. Shouts to DJ Chuck T because he's been trying for the longest as well. Like this was the year. Music from a level of music, Rhapsody, that whole project. There were my only beef with Rhapsody's project, and I said this, and I think I did the chop on that one. I felt like the singles were misguided as fuck. I felt like there were songs on that album that were way better than the 2 songs that they picked for the singles.
I did love the video though with the Genius.
Yeah, no, the visuals were amazing.
Right.
But there's a song on there called Oprah, and I think that's the one that features what's her name, LaKaylee. Is that the one with LaKaylee on it? Listen, there's a song with Rhapsody and LaKaylee on it, okay? In an era when Meg has all these women out here like ready to find their superheroes in music, you have Rhapsody and LaKaylee on a song, you put that on every radio station out there. That could have been Rhapsody's radio hit.
Yeah.
That could have been it.
Well, I think a lot of us were disappointed by the public's reaction to Rhapsody's album. But I think this album is actually a bridge to something. And I think that her next project is going to be even better. I think, with Rhapsody in general, we want her to win so much that we're trying to force her growth. And she's grown tremendously. And I'm just talking about, she's always been one of the most dope technical MCs, period, male or female.
Right.
But seeing her body a Grubhub commercial, you know what I'm saying? Just it just shows like her range. And I think that the dopest part about E for me was seeing her grow and seeing her be more than just a backpack female rapper who talks about the same thing, like, is boring. Like, I think she's coming into her personality, or we're getting to see who she is, you know,
Right.
probably with her circle and with the homies.
And I mean, I'll even go so far as to say, just as a woman, like, I think that that's a natural progression for somebody who's in her 20s. Like,
Right.
there's gonna be different ways.
And we
of
forget
who
that
she
because
is.
she carries herself, you know, with this wisdom, you
Right.
know.
Layla's
Pun
wisdom.
intended. You know, she carries herself with this thing about her that is probably, you know, older than she is.
Right.
And that's dope.
And that may be also kind of one of the places that fucks her up as well. You know what I mean?
And I got to shout out my brother Mark Bird.
That's what I was getting to.
Because Mark Bird was the only non-Soul Council member. Shout to the Soul Council.
Shouts to Ninth, man.
Hey, Crisis. What's good, bro? Eric G. The whole gang.
I saw Crisis. Where did I see Crisis?
Probably in the most regular situation.
No, Crisis had a show
Oh, word.
here in Atlanta. And I forget who it was with, but I legit fangirled out. I was like, hey, man.
You know what's crazy?
I know
like,
who you are.
that's like, I run into Crisis in so many random situations because we grew up on that 95 corridor in the Northeast, and I've literally seen this fool on mega buses, you know, riding
That's
back and
hilarious.
forth between Virginia, and he was always in Philly, you know, and I've just always run into dude. He's always been a great guy. Always judged our shows out in Raleigh.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always good to support the Jamla family because they've always supported us, and that's always a good look. But my guy Mark Bird, that's my brother. He produced Nina, and you know, set it off correctly. Shout to him. Shout to the whole God level. Shout to Charity. You know, everybody over on that side. I stand to the alums again.
So, not to be corny, but we're gonna go right from that in this whole "Yay, we love Jamla" tonight to Little Brother.
Hey,
Um,
it's all love.
it's
Let's
all
go.
love, and I kind of felt like some of y'all were real corny to be like, this ain't no Little Brother album because Knife ain't on it. Like, the album was amazing.
Man, listen.
The album was higher level dad rap. It was an
But let's
evolution
talk
of dad
about
rap.
what we did with the credit check. And I want to give a big shout out
To me.
to her, to this lady, because she got the credits for this, and nobody else
that's
has
right.
them,
Oh.
or nobody else had them.
I
They
didn't
weren't
even know
available.
that's what we were talking about.
So we talking about May the Lord Watch, and
Yes.
when May the Lord Watch dropped, you could not find the credits on any platform other than iStandardProducers.com, and that is because we did the groundwork.
Yes.
We did it old school. Ty did her reach outs, and next thing you know, we had the
Big Pooh himself.
full list. We had the
From rapper Big
samples.
Pooh
We had
himself.
everything. We had the voiceovers from UBN, and
Yeah.
so if you go and you Google "Little Brother May the Lord Watch" credits, you're just gonna see us.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
But, you know, I'd like to take this moment on behalf of the top brass at iStandardProducers.com and the editorial staff to let you guys know that opportunity is there for you as well. If you're dropping a project, we would like to have your credits.
We
and
would
like
love to
dissect it and share it with the community, with the creator community, because y'all don't understand that, like, that's where the bulk of our traffic comes from.
Mm-hmm.
People want to see that information. And unfortunately, or fortunately, or whatever, I mean, I guess it's great for the planet that we're not doing physical CDs anymore. But, you know, people want to see this. And even I think what we offer beyond what the physical CDs did is that, you know, for somebody like me, when I used to go through these CD covers in Oviedo, Florida, I didn't know what the fucking A&R was. Like, I
Right.
don't know what the mixer, like, I don't know what these things mean.
Right.
Or didn't back then, because now I work for a producer website. Of course I know.
But a dope segue since we went from there is Crisis. Crisis was you know,
both.
producing on these joints. You know, fire. I mean, May the Lord Watch was just a good listen.
It was a great.
We
And
shout out to Mikey, our producer in the building. We drove to Athens. We drove to Athens and banged the album all the way on the whole 1 hour drive through Gwinnett.
I was in New York having the time of my life because, number one, what I appreciated about this album was the fact that it felt like a family project.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all of these inside jokes, all of these UBN skits, you know, to know
Dr. Peter Rosenberg.
to know Joe Scudder and hear that "It's So Good to Be a White Man Again" skit. And then to see them perform this show in Atlanta and to see Joe Scudda come out and do Loving It with them in Atlanta then see Joe Scudda backstage and living his best white man life.
We love it. We're happy for you, Joe.
I mean, I'm happy for the guys, but I think that also, like, one of the things that I've been pushing, conversation I've been having with people for a very long time, is the concept of adult contemporary rap, right? Because, hip hop is the one youth culture movement that has been really reluctant about growing. And what I mean by that is that a fan of Bruce Springsteen will call what he listens to rock and roll.
Right.
His son may be calling Nirvana rock and roll. And they're fine with both of those
Completely
things being rock and roll and being in their separate rooms, and they might go to a show together. Whereas over here, our 50-year-olds are trying to compete with the 20-year-olds for the same sets of ears, and it's stupid.
And we know why, though. It's the growing pains of a young genre. We didn't have enough. We didn't have enough years under our belt.
Well, goddamn it, Hov is 50, y'all. Get over it.
But now, I think we're finally coming into that, because hip hop started with my dad. You know what I'm saying? And I grew up listening to what my dad was listening to, which was Rakim and all, Run DMC and LL and everything. And then my dad had listened to my Jay-Z and the Rockefellers and the Snoops and all that stuff.
Right.
And that was our overlap.
Yeah.
The early 90s was our overlap with our parents. And, fast forward, we're overlapping with...
And our generation is the assholes here. Like, let's be clear.
We are completely it.
We are the ones that have been sitting here like, with your stupid music. Like, we didn't make a song
Old
about
ass
picking
millennials.
boogers. Like, we didn't make a song about picking boogers a hit.
Right.
Like y'all wasn't really rocking Rico Suave. Don't front. I had the cassette single, front and back.
Bro, we let a lot of whack music slide.
Also, I grew up in Florida. I will never judge what any of these children listen to. Do me a favor, if you don't know, go and look up Pina Colada by The Real One. And understand the reason why I can never say shit about what any of these kids ever listen to, because that's one of my favorite songs ever.
Shout out to K7.
So, okay, right. I had his whole album. Okay. Shouts to K7.
And their fashion choices.
So back to North Carolina.
So this album,
notice we're
May the
still
Lord
not
Watch,
talking
was
about
crazy.
this album.
Another reason that was really dope about this album, man, my young dude, Black Gold, got his first placement.
Congrats.
Outstanding alum through the OG Focus 3 Dots.
My big bro.
Focus showed his behind on this project.
As he will.
And I'm going to tell you that the dope part was even seeing people like Lorenzo Ferguson, who play so many instruments and did so many dope things, be a part of this album. The UBN skits, everything, just to see every part of what made this album fire.
And to feel Pooh and Fonte connecting.
Yes.
Because you could feel it.
Oh, of course.
If you saw them live, if you got a chance to see them live behind this project, you could see it on stage.
See, we came up with, I remember watching these guys from the jump, coming through every city, performing, hanging out. Like, they were a part of, these dudes might as well be a part of Philly hip hop, because they come to the town and they chill and they do the sets and hang out. And, so everything about this album felt like 2004, 5, 6, 7. Like, it felt like a Little Brother situation. And that's really why I love this album. It captured what we all loved about Little Brother. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Ty at Aftermath.
Hi, Ty.
I met the homie Pooh through him, man, and just really good people, man. Really good people. So
I literally met Big Pooh off of Twitter. So shouts to Black Twitter 1.0. That's a story for another day.
Yeah. Oh, and Black Milk was on this joint.
Right.
Give it up because Black Milk dropped a dope project this year too.
Did it? Was that this year?
He did.
You guys.
It was this year. See?
Okay, we gotta kind of. I don't even know where we are on time with this right
King
now.
Michael Coy.
We gotta really like. Okay, so talk to me about this Dreamville project, because I feel like we were so excited about it.
And I'm still excited about it because what Cole did,
I'm not sure I've listened to it yet,
was just completely unprecedented in the modern era.
Right.
He opened up the project to a plethora of creators from all over the country. They flew cats in. They gave out golden tickets, like on some Willy Wonka.
Now, see, that I will say, from a creator standpoint, a music creator standpoint, that is by far the biggest thing that happened this year.
Absolutely.
Hands down.
Absolutely. And what it
Y'all was mad you couldn't get in the building.
Oh, man. It was like, oh, I ain't getting no invite. You know, Cats was calling behind the scenes like, yo, how can I get in the room? Yo, Jay, can I use I know Jay Hatch card? You know what I'm saying?
Y'all were using all kinds of hey big head text messages.
like y'all was hitting up everybody y'all knew. I knew Molly's phone was probably off the chain. I know Three Little Diggs was probably getting hit up like crazy. You know, Izzy, shout out to Izzy, the producer's his birthday, I think, was yesterday. Shout out to the homie, everybody up at Tree Sound. But it was just a magical moment where a lot of opportunity was given out. And J. Cole will forever be remembered by a lot of these people for providing this opportunity for him to get together and get this light shine. First of all, he put his team on. You know what I'm saying? And this is the third one. I've never heard of Revenge of the Dreamers at all. I don't know what 1 or 2 sound like, but I know what 3 sounds like.
I don't. I'm sorry, guys.
So,
but I love Earth Gang forever, and I love JID forever, and I'm gonna go listen to it at some point.
Earth Gang's single from the album was also on here, produced by Bink. Shout out to Bink.
I've heard Down Bad.
Down Bad was fire. This joint just had a lot of great moments and a lot of great features. I just had, we were just talking about Baby Rose and Davion today. Also Guap Dad.
Shouts to Davion.
Also Guap Dad, 4,000. Like,
Guap Dad is such a...
He is like, yo...
Guap Dad is something special.
I
really
am glad
hope
I found that kid.
Did you listen to his project? He dropped the project this year.
He did.
And I think I told you, I was like,
if he had put the credits up, we'd have posted it. So, and the funny thing is, Guap Dad is so real, I could tweet him that, he'll respond.
Right. And maybe we'll get him, and then we can have a conversation about it.
But we are big fans of Guap
Dad. North Carolina, for all of those bars that y'all dropped in 2019, the baby is your star.
But also, shout out to Revenge of the Dreamers for getting a Grammy nod.
Oh yeah, they did get a Grammy nod. So when I say that though, like, I really honestly shouldn't even say it like that, because like I don't think that the baby is not a rapper. Like, the baby can rap.
But he's also a moment. He's a force.
Right. Because when you say a moment, that sounds like something that's gonna go away.
Well, we don't know. We'll see where it goes. But the energy of that moment is gonna transcend this moment.
Right.
Whatever it is, whatever
Bop
it is
going to be one of those songs that they're playing at, like, I can't even say it like that, you guys. I'm sorry. Bop is going to last. Yes, Bop is going to last.
Because we got to get rid of
Y'all going to laugh. Oh, no, they're not getting rid of
Swag Surfing's got to go.
They're not getting rid of it.
It's got to go.
We can't even get people outside of Atlanta to understand that you start out slow. And you don't swag surf fast until the beat drops. Please.
Yeah, it's like...
Grab a friend. Explain to them, you start really slow at the beginning, and then once the hook drops for the first time, that's when you speed up. Anyway, the baby. So I went and listened to the album real quick. I kind of skimmed through Kirk in preparation for this little moment of ours. Mm-hmm. I think I loved one other song as much as I loved Bop, maybe 2. And that was Gospel with Chance the Rapper and Gucci Mane on it. Mm-hmm. That's a bop. And I don't even remember what the other one was called. I feel like the baby might be one of those people that, like, I think you know him more than you know his actual music.
Yeah. So, and that speaks volumes as to what 2019, 2020 going forward is. It's a lot more about personality in a moment. Mm-hmm. But even him, like, Suge. Like, Suge was a moment for him. And Suge was all he needed.
Right.
And then you had the joint with Meg and, Cash Shit. Mm-hmm. And then that's a moment. And these moments are so big that they carry these projects over.
Right.
I mean, people are they're going gold off of a single that drops before the album comes out.
Right.
So that's all you really need. And then the hardcore fans will get in there and learn all the songs.
I love that, and this is going to be my segue to Meg, but I love that both him and Meg are making these moves with producers from their hometowns.
Right, they keeping it authentic. Like, I always thought that was fire, because I'm like, I don't even know this kid. Because we read the credits and we're looking like, DJ Kid, who's that? Mm-hmm. Anthony, like, we don't know any of these guys, and that's great. because we need more of that. We
Right.
need more people that are bringing more opportunity from their hometowns.
We need less of you to be out here trying to sound like Atlanta.
Everybody
please.
else, right? We don't need.
It's not even everybody else. It's Atlanta.
Shout out to Jetson Made and Starboy, man. Bop is a hit. That joint is out of here. You got Colin Coward tweeting the baby about Bop. You got people bopping during games, during NFL football games. You know,
That's a moment.
Salute
to him. So Meg did that with Lil Ju. Lil Ju made that beat.
Yeah.
Who is actually originally from Dallas, but
Shout out to Dallas.
is really, really big about keeping that Texas sound authentic and really, really big about honoring Houston's legacy. We actually talked to him for this feature that we have dropping this week about Pimp C's legacy as a producer, because y'all seem to forget that Pimp C was a producer. And so Ju was one of the people that we talked to about it. So I love that, like, he came up. I mean, the baby is coming up with people from around where he's at. That Meg is, staying with the people where she's at, and nobody feels it necessary to go find her, I don't know, Southside or somebody to make her beat.
Whoa,
you look confused.
Whoa. You know why I'm confused? Because I'm reading these credits and I see DJ Clue.
On what? That has to be a sample.
The Baby's album.
That has to be a sample.
Well, I'm gonna ask the homie Miles Williams. Shout out to Miles. Because that's interesting. See, this is why I love credits. It makes me want, like, I'm interested now. I got to go listen to the song just because I read that. I'm like, what the hell? Because if it don't have a DJ Clue intro on it, I don't even want to hear it.
So, I don't think I heard one, but we'll go investigate that.
It out.
So back to Houston, right? So Meg did her thing. For better or worse, Lizzo did her thing with her amazing, infectious brand of Old Navy commercial music. AKA
Gap commercials,
sassy best friend from the rom-com theme music. But she's getting to her bag, and I love it. And then Normani is out here doing the damn thing. And then now Meg and Normani about to drop a song together.
That's gonna be a problem.
It's on the soundtrack for some superhero thing that you're probably way more excited about. Well, I am now because they're on the soundtrack.
Is that
for
the
Birds of Prey?
Birds of Prey.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fire.
So Houston, I love to see Houston's having this moment with people that don't necessarily sound like what y'all think Houston should sound like.
I'm a big proponent of Houston.
All right. Let's see what else happened this year. This year had some great soundtracks. My favorite is actually my favorite is Queen and Slim. The Queen and Slim soundtrack, which didn't drop until November, but I've lost his because now he's looking at pictures of Meg. Come back.
I got to see Meg live.
I did.
A3C.
I know. Was I standing next to
you? You might have been.
But you wouldn't have known.
The girl was stripping in front of me, and we were trying to get her down because she was a little inebriated. So it was an interesting room.
It was an interesting room.
But she throws a party. Meg throws a party.
Even if it's
you
only 15 minutes.
If you have not seen Meg live, listen, she could have gave us 5 minutes.
Somewhere where they're paying her enough for her to show up for her own set.
But that would, look, I felt like I was tired.
Right.
I was like,
yeah, it was a workout. It was a workout. Okay, so let's move on to these soundtracks real quick because I feel like I don't know how we on time, Mikey.
Terrible.
We're smooth.
7 minutes from an hour.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but y'all look. This is the first one. This is how y'all are gonna figure out if you like us. It's fine.
It's good.
Yeah.
Quality.
Nobody wants to give you a quickie the first time around. Well, nobody should want to.
So we had Queen and Slim. You said was your favorite.
It's my fave.
Okay.
And Queen and Slim. So I don't know. No, I take that back. I was gonna say I don't know if you could appreciate the Queen and Slim soundtrack not having seen the movie.
Right.
But I take that back because I actually remember hearing the soundtrack before I saw the movie and automatically wanting to actually go see the movie.
Right.
Based on the soundtrack. But if you see the movie, they do a really, really good job of using the music as part of the story. If you haven't seen it yet, you're probably not interested. Sorry for you.
I think I'm gonna see it.
Eventually.
I think social media ruined it for me.
Oh yeah, they did. They definitely did. And it was funny because I feel like Queen and Slim falls into a particular category of films that I love. Like I love these tragic love story meets crime story type situations. I feel like a lot of men got tricked into going to see Queen and Slim thinking it was going to be action when it was actually a love story.
Yeah.
and they weren't prepared. But the soundtrack features like some of your favorite older joints, like Soul Sister with Bilal and Raphael Sadiq.
That is fun.
Still Tippin' was on there. Searching by Roy Ayers was on there. But then there was a lot of new music.
Earth Gang.
Earth Gang was on there. Meg was on there.
Sid, shout to
Sid was on there, whose voice I think is
amazing.
I love Sid.
Sid is amazing.
We had a new Lauryn Hill joint on here, even though the internet broke our hearts and told us it wasn't new. Don't do that. She delivers music on time. She just don't show up on time. Burner Boy's on there. I discovered Blood Orange because of the soundtrack.
What?
You didn't put me on, my nigga.
I'm sorry.
Don't do that.
Yo, shout to Thrill Collins, man. We've been on Blood Orange for years. Blood Orange is fire.
Well, nobody's holding.
Blood Orange dropped the project. We covered it.
Well, nobody's holding.
See, 2019. Too much music.
Too much damn
Lil
music.
Baby was on there.
My second favorite soundtrack. It's probably my first. Because I listen to it every day. Well, not the whole thing, and it's not even really a soundtrack. It's The Gift.
See, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that was my second favorite soundtrack.
So y'all hated the music on The Lion King. Nobody needed that Lion King reboot.
I didn't hate it.
Nobody.
I just don't think it's for us.
But guess what?
It's for the Disney Plus.
Nah, bro, because
world.
they're watching the original.
Nah, they watching both of them.
Are you sure?
My kids are watching every version of every damn thing.
Are they?
Yes.
Okay, but then never mind.
So even they're rebooting like old TV shows. Like that's the beauty of it. Like you can watch old Aladdin and watch new Aladdin. My kids watch the original Flubber, the black and white version, and then they watch the Robin Williams Flubber.
I didn't know there were two.
Actually,
I did. And you know what? I'll take that back because I watched the old Parent Trap, the new Parent Trap. I watched the old. Disney been doing this. My bad, Disney. You right.
They right on brand.
My bad. But no, this thing that Beyonce put together was amazing. The fact that she went. The Gift was amazing. The Gift was a really great platform, I think, for a lot of.
Shout out to Tierra Whack, Philly in the building.
For a lot of Afrobeats artists who if you follow me on Twitter, you know that I often rant about the fact that American DJs have 4 Afrobeats records in their crates. It's 4.
Unless you're from Philly. Because we've been on that Afrobeats.
Or maybe Houston, because there's a lot of Nigerians in Houston.
Big shout to the Philly DJ scene.
But, really what most people here in the States right now are hearing as Afrobeats is just Nigerian music. And I appreciate that The Gift did not just stick to Nigerian music.
Right.
Like, the biggest song on there that Beyonce is on, which is already, she went and got Shatta Wale on there. Shatta Wale is from Ghana, I believe. I feel like I looked this up the other day, and that's where he was from. So there was a lot of people on there that were names, like Burna Boy's on there, Tiwa Savage is on there, but then there's, somebody like Shatta Wale that y'all might not know. There was, what's the other girl who's on My Power? Sis is not help me. He's lost. What you looking at?
I'm looking at The Gift.
Oh, look, there's a version of it on Spotify without those whack ass interludes. I'm sorry.
You didn't like the interludes?
No.
Are you talking about Sinelli? Moonchild Sinelli?
Is that who's
on
My
Power?
I guess so.
And I thought it was somebody else. Also on that. Shout out to Nisha.
I thought it was somebody else,
Nisha's
but yeah.
We got
Techno, which Techno. I mean, Techno is one of those guys that y'all know and just don't realize that you know. Techno's on there. St. John was on there. Blue Ivy got her first Grammy nom.
She stole my entire segue because I was about to segue into because my favorite soundtrack of the year was Top Boy.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't even listen to it.
See.
Well, then go ahead.
But I was just going to say, shout out to Drake for bringing back one of my favorite.
Sorry. That was for all the West Indians out here.
Series from British TV.
Oh, God.
Food. Where's the food, bruv?
I haven't watched New Top Boy yet.
Oh, man. Amazing season. And there's more to come.
But, okay, so is the original Top Boy required watching for the new Top Boy?
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure because I'm halfway through the original season 1.
I mean, you could watch it, but you wouldn't understand the significance of who the characters are.
It's fine. I be needing a lot of shit to stream. When I get in my streaming moods, like I need 6-7 seasons. Otherwise, like what the fuck is the point? So, but the soundtrack you're saying,
Yeah,
Drake is on the soundtrack. I'm sure.
OVO came through with the soundtrack. You know, Drake came through. You know, Kano, Lil Dave, like it's Sims. Like it was a lot of. It's a lot of London artists in the show.
Right.
Right. So you got Dave, you got Sims. She's like one of the top artists. She played one of the main. She played Ashley Walters' character's love interest, and they came through with some fire that was representative of the scene. You know, you got Heady One, you got Fredo, you got Nafe Smalls. Like you just Baka, obviously.
I love Baka.
You know, you gotta get the Toronto OVO and then British collaboration. Like it was just.
You mean you don't have to, but you're Drake.
It was
I just want to know who told Drake to go try that on the war, but that's a conversation
that
for another
Professor
day.
X joint. So we're not even gonna get into that. We're not gonna go there.
I just want you to know though, for the record, that I had somebody from Canada co-sign with me. That shit sounds ridiculous.
So I think. First of all, grime is a interesting and UK drum. That's drill. I'm sorry, that's a UK drill beat. I think people who don't listen to it have to get used to the vibe of it.
No.
Because I guarantee you, if I played any of those same people,
I'm fine with them.
Some original.
I don't want Aubrey doing it.
I'm not mad.
Aubrey doesn't need to.
I'm not mad at it.
Okay.
I'm not mad.
He sounds like Chet Hanks.
He sounds like Aubrey.
He sounds like Chet Hanks. Anyway.
He sounds like Aubrey.
What for me? So obviously we're gonna skip over some of this other shit that came out this year. But yeah, go listen to that Guap Dag. Go listen to Baby Rose. Please go listen to Baby Rose. Amazing album.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Don't do that because I listened to Lana Del Rey for you today.
But I'm just saying, I'm trying to get with Baby Rose.
What's your Baby Rose beef?
It's textures, vocal textures.
Okay. She gives you Nina Simone
ish,
but she's very young.
But I've heard some of her stuff. Like I think her latest single I heard, or she put up a clip on her Twitter, and that song was fire. I think whoever's producing her vocals or who's producing her music, period. I think sometimes you have artists that are so out of pocket that they have to find a happy medium because there's a beauty in her voice,
right?
And it takes the right songs for it to hit everybody's ear.
Look, man,
the right way.
Baby Rose put out that album, and I listened to that album on a Saturday afternoon by myself in the hotel. And if my ex-boyfriend's phone number, if my ex's number had been in my phone, I would have ruined my own life that day. So, shouts to her for capturing emotion and shit. Crit gave us an amazing album.
So Crit was a whole experience. We went to the album release at the Planetarium. That was fire. I'm glad. Once again, shout out to all the homies that had placements on there. I'm glad that Crit stepped outside of his box. I think a lot of people overlooked that project because it wasn't the Crit that everybody was used to, but Crit delivered. Crit had some joints that could have been radio heavy. He had some joints that could have played in the bop club.
He actually had a radio song.
Yeah,
like, Addiction was actually on the radio.
Addiction is fire, but that's a quality project, and I hope that he does more of that. I hope that's a segue into Crit really getting out here and showing you his full range, because my man is amazingly talented, and I was just happy with the direction, everything we heard. It was fire. So shout out to Rico Love and everybody that was involved in that project.
Crit here is still one of my favorite songs of the whole entire year. DJ, like you could not. So there's a sample on there. Mm-hmm. It's not all those horns and shit that you hear.
Right.
That was the thing that surprised me the most about that song. Like I really felt like that was going to be what they went and got from a gospel song. No, that was all original. So he did a few of those.
My only thing is,
what happened?
I think the only thing that if you're going to do a learn it from Texas, get a Texas producer. I think that was my one.
Who produced it?
Thing. He wasn't from Texas. that's all I know.
But who was it? Wait, I'm scrolling. I'm about to get to it.
And then I think another thing that Crit did that was
Khalil.
Was right. Yeah, not from Texas.
I mean, but that's the whole point, right? You learned it from Texas.
Yeah, the rapper learned it from Texas.
But
the producer should.
Did you?
I would have. But it was like a.
But did the song give you a Texas feel?
It gave me a faux Texas feel, not a. But it could have had a Texas feel.
All right.
Because you had producers from Texas around you. Why didn't you let them produce that one?
Okay.
And I liked his. He put out the Trifecta project before that. I would have liked to hear For the Three on the actual album because I think that song rode super hard as a lot of other joints.
So there was apparently quite a bit of discussion as to what to keep from that Trifecta and what not to include.
Right. Yeah, I heard that was the whole thing.
But
too.
but the Trifecta, let's just honestly.
I'm happy for all of it, though.
You can go back. Right. I think he went back and released it all as a playlist so that you don't have to go through. I made it a playlist.
It exists
automatically.
So
So yeah, we got two amazing Crit albums in 6 months, really.
And when we talk about albums that didn't get noticed by the Grammys, that's one that popped up on my list. So.
Yeah.
Because it was a really solid album.
And he didn't complain about it, but as the little immigrant that I am, the most exciting thing for me this year was just seeing world music really.
Yes, and this So
and it's surprising because not surprising. It's just really really interesting to me that Afrobeats has somehow permeated or seems like it's permeated more than reggae ever really did. Y'all only ever let 3 reggae artists shine at a time. Y'all know I'm not lying. Let's count them. It was Shaba at the same time as Shaba. It was Shaba, Maxi Priest, and Buju.
We talking about real reggae artists?
Yeah, we're talking about listen. When Shaba was hot, Buju was hot, Maxi Priest was hot. Mm-hmm. Who else you have? Maybe Shaggy? Yeah, Maxi Priest might be a little bit older. Okay, so we're not counting Shaggy? Cool. Then y'all were really excited about what's his name? Who's been in jail and continues to be Sizzler? Dominating. No. The one who bleaches, Fever.
Oh, God.
What's the song? The song is Fever. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name right now because I listened to this song all
reggae
the time.
had its heyday in, when you had Beanie Man and you had Elephant Man and you had
but it was
Sean
only ever 3 Sean Paul.
And you had Vegas and you had, I think around the Belly soundtrack.
About Vybz Kartel.
I think around Belly soundtrack.
That was the height of reggae for you guys?
That was the height of dance hall in America. Well, from that time.
No, that was the height of dance hall for Americans in America because the West Indian community is.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That was the height of it being pop because America's still going to be. If it works in America, everybody's happy.
Right.
That's the goal. I don't know why.
I don't either.
That's the goal. If we go in America, then we win.
Right.
Even in Canada.
Which is interesting because, when you bring it back to these Afrobeats artists, I have seen Techno, Davido, Tiwa Savage, all these guys will drop a song and have 5 million YouTube views in 3-4 hours.
Right.
So I don't even know why they care about what's happening over here.
I don't know. But this is the validation. It's all about the States.
But regardless, y'all are paying attention now, which allowed Jidenna to finally stop trying to be a rapper. Yo, I'm an asshole. I'm sorry.
Yo, that project was hard though.
It was so great. It's one of my favorites. That's an album that I've gone back and listened to many times. This is what Jidenna needed.
It is.
This is really, and don't get me wrong.
I think it's right in the pocket.
I love Classic Man. I love Knickers. Knickers is one of my favorite songs. Knickers. That's the name of the song. I feel like I overpronounce it on purpose.
Yes,
so you know what I'm saying.
Knickerbockers, y'all.
It's like Knickerbockers, but he's like
it's pants.
It's pants, but the hook is like
not the N-I-C-K.
Till I put my niggas on.
Knickers.
Anyway, but it's a whole play on words, and I love it.
Right.
I love that. I felt like Jidenna needed space to be able to be true to what he does.
Right.
So he benefited from that. Another person who benefited from that is Rotimi.
I think this is allowing Jidenna to be his whole self.
Yes.
Because, one of the hardest things for a lot of artists, no matter where you're from, especially artists who, are from ethnic backgrounds, is you used to have to pick a side and you had to pick a lane to be accepted, so you had to make quote-unquote American music. And I think one of the big things that happened this entire decade was world music started to influence America and not the other way around.
Yes.
So I think we saw the culmination of that in a lot of these different projects and things happening from Afrobeat to, the explosion of Spanish music, not just from Puerto Rico. Now you got Venezuela and all these other countries, Colombia and everything getting in. You got YG.
Yo, we were at a spot in Miami where the DJ played 3 American songs.
That was the most,
and they were the most random ass American songs. Like really, like he saw us walk in and was like, "Oh shit,
I
let me just play some regular rap."
You don't even need to do that, homie.
But the songs that he played were so freaking random. But when I tell you, he shouted out the Cubans and then went on a whole like 5-6 song set. For the Cubans.
Homie next to us was a rapper. I think homie next to us was a Cuban rapper.
He went to Puerto Rico. He went to Colombia. Like you said,
he went to everything. They pulled out the whole
old school,
flag.
New school. Like it was amazing.
It was legit,
and as somebody who's not from here, I'm really excited to see that lane is opening now. Because even with Haitian artists,
shout to Tiny.
Even with Haitian artists, I'm seeing like a lot more space for them to grow, a lot more recognition for them here. Like I watched with just like a tear in my eye and a swelling heart when Spotify just created like all of these Haitian playlists, and this happened like last year in May or April or something. Like
the playlist, nowhere. The world playlist situation is absolutely popping. Shout out to Zoila Darton from Mayimba Music, one of the biggest independent Latin publishers. I got to meet her at ASCAP a couple years ago. She introduced me to an amazing Dominican artist, Vaquero, and it's really great to see the entire Caribbean and just South America and Mexico and all these other places getting in on the music game and really getting like some legit love. Like it's just dope. Like my only issue is if you're going to do, and also shout out to Snow the Product, who has consistently been putting on for the Latino community, for Latinos and in general, and just making dope bilingual music. She did a dope joint with the homie Sick With It, and just putting on for everybody's cultures, and it's just fire. YG, if you do a song and you use Mexican influence, don't put a Colombian rapper on there. That was my big gaffe of the year. I'm like, homie.
So it wasn't AMBJ?
Listen.
That was not your biggest Latino influence gaffe of the year?
No. Okay. It was YG, got the homies with the, they got the Vatos Locos, everything in the video, and then we got a Colombian dude rapping. You can't do that, man. You should have put A La Raza or something. You could have got Chingo Bling.
Oh my God, no! Please don't go get Chingo Bling wherever he's at. He could have got our homie. He could have got Cap G.
You could have got Cap G.
You could have got Cap G.
You could have got Cap. That would have made the most sense. You could have got Cap G.
That would have been absolutely perfect.
He's young. He out here spitting his life out.
The winners of this international expansion in the last, I would say, 18 months is, I would say, what's old boy's name who did Mi Gente? I mean, clearly he's not a winner if I can't think of his name right now. You know what I'm talking about. Did Mi Gente with Beyonce? Y'all know J Balvin.
Oh my God! Listen, those guys, him, Bad Bunny, and shout out to Cardi B for being a part of the whole wave too. Like, it's just they making like, if I could get one Despacito in my life,
But like you said, I'm just really, really excited to see these kids. And see, this is the thing that, like, I think that Pitbull figured out halfway through his career.
Yes.
Is that there are a lot of people out there who are like you. And this is for all you creators out there.
Lil Jon.
No, because Lil Jon, it's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying that Pitbull figured out is that there are a lot of people who grew up like he did.
Right.
Who love their parents' music, but also love hip hop. Or, who love Afro beats,
but what I'm saying
also love reggae.
On the production side, Lil Jon was one of the first people that was not, Lil Jon's from here, but Lil Jon was one of the first people to start producing music for Brazilian artists, for Spanish artists. Like, he dipped into that culture and got a lot of bags because he was there with Pitbull. When Pitbull started dipping in, a lot of them records was Lil Jon records. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, Lil Jon was one of the first people to really recognize. And I mean, all you gotta do is go to Miami.
All you gotta do is go to
All you gotta do is go to Miami. You'll see the whole world right there. And you can talk to people. You go to Miami, you talk to people, and you will get a taste of international culture.
And that's the thing is that, people love to put you on to their shit.
They do.
So, like, when y'all are taking all these trips overseas or whatever, just ask somebody to put you on some music. Pull out your Shazam while you're at the club.
You have to legitimately
Don't go to the club that's only playing 7-year-old American music.
But you have to legitimately care. I mean, I peeped the wave years ago. I got to meet Stargate. When Stargate first came to America, one of my homegirls from Norway, Noelle, introduced me to Stargate. And they were doing Europop. And we were all like, what the hell is Europop? And we didn't realize, like, this was going to be something that was going to start to dominate. Cats like Max Martin, we're going to start to dominate our music. And then we saw the New Zealand and Australian wave.
Right.
With Lorde and, all these big bands.
Speaking of which, you made me almost, not you made me. I almost forgot to talk about how, like, 2 of the best R&B albums that we got this year came from Sweden and the Netherlands.
Yeah, see?
Nicole Buss gave y'all an amazing...
Nicole Buss.
Listen,
man.
Snow fucking Allegra.
Yeah. Yo, listen, their voices.
That's all.
Oh, my God.
That's the whole tweet.
I mean...
Snow fucking Allegra.
Even Mahalia,
Right, Mahalia.
You've got so many amazing sounds in Europe.
Not you, Craig David.
Man. I mean, but I remember... shout out to Jazzy Jeff, but I remember he was telling everybody, like, I got to listen to Hiatus Coyote, and Little Dragon,
That was a nice flex.
That was.
I remember how
hey, man,
Jazzy Jeff used to tell us.
I listened to the OGs, but they that's what I'm saying, like, cats that have been traveling overseas and have been seeing these things happen and seeing how serious these cats are at, and doing our music better than us in some cases.
In some cases.
And it's not a new thing.
But see, and that's the thing is that, like, I think that now we have to get to the point, even though I'm hating on Drake and War, we have to get to the point where we're realizing that it's not our music anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of belongs to everybody.
Can y'all see my smile over here?
Why? Because I said I'm hating on him?
No, I'm just saying,
Oh, no. Listen, I need y'all to understand that him and Hat said that I'll be singing this song in 3 weeks,
Drake's
and I will never, ever.
Drake's been a cultural ambassador, and I bet you, I stand by that. Drake is a cultural ambassador.
Vulture.
And the reason why he is because he's from a place where there's no place that melds in the world.
Let me tell you the difference between Drake being a cultural ambassador on everything else and then the way that he did it this time. Usually, he'll grab somebody from wherever that is and put them on the song with him.
Well, but this is not the first time he's done that. This is
not
fake
Drake, British.
Yeah, this is not Drake. This is not Drake's first foray into the whole thing. He's been doing shit with Lil Dave. He jumped on Lil Dave's joint years ago.
Well,
so, like, that's why I said with the whole Top Boy, his fascination, like, you got to peep the timeline. Like, this has been a slow graduation. This is just the first time we've heard him by itself. Because he's already got joints with
That's what I'm saying.
He just did a whole Top Boy project.
Don't
So, listen, the world is better.
Listen, Drake's a fucking millionaire. Drake don't care what the hell I think.
I'm just saying, I think that it's dope that he's still out here saying, you know what, I like this and I want to help push this sound forward. And he's not just doing it in one way. It wasn't just music. He literally revived a TV show, and now the whole world,
y'all see my
people
face
that
now?
wasn't up on it, people that was not up on the greatness of Top Boy.
Now all of you are walking around here talking about some bruv.
They all talking about food, bruv. But see, that helps because I'm
going back to my country.
I've been a fan of the whole grime UK scene when America first stole dubstep.
Right.
And I said that when America first stole dubstep. Y'all don't remember the old James Blake. You know, shout to Joker. Joker, who is now Stormzy's engineer, was one of the first producers that I heard. And my man Jeff Weiss from Passion of the Weiss sent us a beat and told us to rap on it.
Listen,
and we're like, what is this? He's
SAS,
like, it's dubstep.
my niggas, SAS. Shouts to SAS.
Shout to SAS.
SAS is about to take advantage of the fact that y'all are all obsessed with Top Boy and that Griselda has made it cool to be an old gangster nigga again. And they're going to come back and they're going to walk right into that.
You know, Wiley and Stormzy beefing right now, so.
Are they?
You know, yeah, they're going back and forth.
I'm trying to find it. I'm trying desperately to find a power outlet, and it's just not happening.
Oh, it's covered up. That one don't work.
There's one behind you, but okay. So that's another thing that we forgot about. So shouts to Griselda Records and all the things that they did to make it.
They
cool
had a hell of a year, man. The plug I knew, Benny.
And you know you're doing something when people are talking about you and nobody can name one of your songs.
And that's wild because they putting out so much work, and their fan base is so rabid.
Yeah, I'm nobody.
Their fan base is rabid.
No, there's a lot of people that could name their records.
Their fan base is
rabid. I did a show with them at A3C 3 years ago. It's amazing. But like I can't tell you a song.
But they got their situation on lock. And that's how you have it until you blow. Because then everybody gonna be, because I really got on this year. Now, my homeboy is their photographer. So I've been seeing the movement and what they're doing visually.
I've known of them
years.
From Sky Zoo had them on a song in like 2015, 2016. Right. That's how I found out about Conway and Westside Gun from Sky. So you know they've been around. They've been putting the work in and whatever. Like it's no disrespect. I'll get around to it at some point. I think I did. I think I went and I listened to like a playlist on, because that's what I count on like Tidal and Spotify for. Right. The playlisting is for them to give me the shit that I need to listen to, like the essential playlists.
Benny,
that works for me.
Benny.
But I really felt like I might have got deported just from listening to that music, so I stopped.
Listen, it's a lot of coke. It's a lot of issues going on. But look. Benny the Butcher, man, that dude is special.
That's the one?
Benny's the one, man. And no, don't get me wrong. Conway and like Westside, they talk that talk. It's just their talk is a little from my age range. I heard it. You know, I like they swag. I peep what they doing, but I grew up in that era.
Right.
So Benny is the one that's pushing it a little bit forward for me. So that's why I can listen to their joints all day and bop, and it's crazy. I seen a video of Whole Face when they played him the album, you know, and it was just ugly. Faces just
wow.
Then he made in black.
No. Stick to your shade. No.
You never seen the classic. You never seen the classic video of when they was playing him the album and he was just making them ugly faces.
Yeah.
You know, Pharrell.
But you said an uglier
than that,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, uglier than that.
Yeah, come on, man.
I mean, I was saying stand in your shade. Man. I stand in mine.
You can't shade God. It's my favorite rapper of all time. What?
We can still shade him. He's our favorite rapper of all time.
Listen,
but he also said he's the one like 5 divided by 4.
That's that internet generation.
But he also said
I can't shade God.
But he also said he's the one like 5 divided by 4. Sometimes we gotta call Hov out on things.
Hey, listen, you know, I might not be everybody's cup of tea either, but you know, he bagged Beyonce, so he's doing something right.
He's doing something right. Anyway. We've been here with you guys for a very, very long time. The name of this podcast is The Chopping Block. The Chopping Block is a recurring series that is a feature that is on our website, istandardproducers.com.
Is that the name of it?
Yes.
It is The Chopping Block?
Yes.
Okay.
It's literally we've been talking about for a year.
I thought it was the credit check, but it's The Chopping Block.
It's The Chopping Block.
There you go. All right. I might get chopped after this. See, this is my boss. I might not have a job. Y'all might not hear me after this.
He literally hired me.
We can switch spaces, Mikey. You wanna come over here?
So look. So like I mentioned at the top of the show, December was awards season at iStandard. We did our first Creator Awards, which was really, really dope. I got to fangirl out and interview Super Dups.
Oh man, Black Chinese.
You know, when you talk about this whole wave of like very, very quietly like infusing American pop hits with like reggae vibes.
He been doing
it's him, and then Harmony Samuels has been over there very, very quietly doing it with the African vibes, like both of them together. We had Cool.
Man, Cool from the legendary Cool and Dre, man. And Cool is cool.
And
like
cool
that's
cool as fuck.
That's the right name. He's got the absolute.
I can't wait for you guys to see these interviews. If you didn't get a chance to watch them, when we were streaming them live, Ben Billions,
another dude that's been out there getting hit after hit, and
808 Ray. Did our video just die on us? Your phone died, maybe. I don't know, but we're still recording. 808 Ray, who, you know, like first placement high, is Nas album done?
Nas album done. Shout out to Roanoke, Virginia, man.
And he told, like, and it's so crazy because, like, Roanoke has gotten around him. They gave him his own, like, day in Roanoke last year.
Key to the city and all that stuff.
His mom, he said his mom had a whole listening party at her house when when that song came out. And then his next placement was Shining, right?
Yeah, Shining. Like, yo, wherever you from, it don't matter, man. Get on the internet and shoot your shot. My man shot his shot from Roanoke, Virginia, and landed in Miami, Florida, with Cool and Dre. Now you making hits, man.
So as a result of that, because we were getting ready for the awards and we were in Miami for like a week, we produced 4 or 5 days worth of amazing content, and then we kicked it with the homies. And Sis got drunk, not me. Nah, wait. Legend got drunk. Legend got drunk. That's who we call
Legend got very drunk.
Legend got very drunk. Not me.
Legend
I was sober.
praying to the porcelain gods.
Oh, see, I wouldn't. We didn't have to go that far.
Hey, man.
Legend got
if you
drunk.
got really drunk, that's a part of your experience.
But so we didn't get a chance to really hit some of these dope albums that came out in December. So, if you look on the site, what's tomorrow? Well, if you're listening to this, it's Thursday, so tomorrow is Friday. So sometime between today and tomorrow. If you look on the site, you'll find reviews for Free National's self-titled debut album.
Mm-hmm.
You will find a review from The Price of Fame, the Sean Price and Lil Fame
Rest in peace.
collaborative joint.
Sean P.
Jack Boys, which is Travis Scott's supergroup.
The current number 1 album.
They dropped the project like right at the very end of the year. Y'all were really excited about Purple Haze 2 by Cameron.
Very
Y'all are always
Cameron-ish.
way more excited about Cameron than I am.
I'm a Cameron fan.
I'm a Danny Lay fan.
I want to know.
And she dropped an EP.
I want to know how Cameron got away with everything he got away with in Ohio. That's all. If I ever get a chance to meet Cameron, we're gonna have a Ohio conversation.
I mean, but that's so easy to do.
A lot of people got away with a lot in Ohio. Shout out to Mikey. Mikey's from Ohio.
So then why you not asking Mikey?
I did ask Mikey, but
Mikey,
I
you don't know?
Cam.
Oh, you want to hear from Cam?
No, we've had discussions.
Oh, let me see. We also listened to that K-Tronada album. Is it K-Tronada or K-Tronada?
K-Tronada.
Whatever.
That
K-Tronada.
That joint is groovy.
Very. I was really excited about it. So that's gonna be up there. You know, Fat Joe and Dre of Cool and Dre
Family
dropped the
Ties.
project, which is maybe why Dre didn't.
Family Ties.
That's another conversation. But they dropped the project.
Oh yeah, he was on a press run.
Oh sure.
So Dre was on the press run.
Sure.
During Beast.
Sure.
And actually, Cool had to leave to go meet him because they're working on Remy's album.
Okay.
So yeah, you know, it's more.
We're
coming.
press, but that's what's up.
It's more coming from the TS family.
I mean, I'm not mad.
You know, it's more coming. So
It's fine. I met Dre in like '98.
Listen,
so it's cool.
I met him at the original Beats on the Beach. Really cool dude, man. Really cool guy.
Sure.
I got pictures on MySpace.
Stormzy dropped an album as well called Heavy as the Head.
Yo, listen.
You and I are busting that one down.
Listen,
I haven't listened to it
that
yet.
joint is fire. I dropped it in the club. We had a lot of the UK homies in the building, a lot of the European homies, and they was going crazy because they hadn't even heard it yet because it was that new. So he got
in Miami?
Yeah, it had just came out. So, you know, it's a joint they call Wiley Flow, which is funny because then Wiley dissed them and they going through a whole thing right now. But the Stormzy joint is fire, man. It's a lot of amazing stuff going on in the UK right now on the hip hop scene. Shout to Stefflon Don too. It's fire.
Steph.
So pay attention.
I don't know why nobody's put Steph and Meg on a song yet. Coach K, what are we doing?
I don't know. I feel like that didn't happen yet.
No.
That's weird.
Right, because they're the same person.
They are.
They're the same girl.
Except
It's just
she's the
one
British,
is from she's the British
Jamaican
West
version.
Indian one.
Right,
Yeah, same girl.
I love her.
And I love them both. They're fucking
I love
amazing.
them. Oh.
Roddy Ricch dropped the project
Man,
that
listen, shout to Roddy.
Sis said I'm supposed to be excited
Man,
about.
Roddy got some joints, man.
You know what I don't like?
The box, man. Shout out to 30 Rock.
You know what I don't like?
30 Rock in the studio right now working. Every
I
time I walk into the studio, I'm not going to say the studio. They got 30 Rock and all day. He working all day.
Oh.
He got the room
I see what
all
you're
day.
saying.
He's just working.
I think what dampened my excitement about Roddy Ricch is that Roddy Ricch sounds like Atlanta.
So I don't think
And that
he
makes
does.
me
I think
sad
he
because
sounds
like
the
what
Bay.
I love about is that where he's from?
I think he sounds.
I thought he was from LA.
He's from LA, but I think the Bay sound is more of what you hear, and I think it's very similar to the Atlanta sound, but it's not exactly the same.
Listen, I've gone back and dug up this J Rock album a few times because it's just so very authentic.
Right.
And I mean, and it's not fair for me the Haitian girl with zero accent who everybody thinks is from Brooklyn, who lived in Brooklyn for a whole year and a half. Like, it's not fair for me to say what's authentic to who somebody is, but like I just really wanted for Roddy Ricch to give me like a really like Cali like.
I think the Northern Cali. So I blame Mustard because I think Mustard blurred the lines between what was Northern and what was Southern Cali sound.
Okay.
And I think now we're getting a lot of that bass sound. So if you listen to, what's the white dude, rapper from the Bay, had the song with Cardi B.
G-Eazy. No.
Listen to G-Eazy.
Is that what you're talking about?
Listen to G-Eazy and Kamaya and all them.
Kamaya, yes.
You hear their
G-Eazy,
sound.
try not to.
That sound, even E40. Like you hear, so my favorite Roddy Ricch joint, where I really got with Roddy Ricch was Chase the Money. Produced by Chase the Money, but they got the joint and he's on there singing the hook with E40, and that joint is Bay. That bounce is the Bay.
Roddy Ricch is gonna be a no for me, dog.
So,
but that's fine because it's not gonna stop near
that's cool.
Chet.
It's not gonna stop near
not
Chet.
one.
He is the hottest thing moving right
God
now.
bless him. Any
So,
black man getting a check in America.
So
I'm excited about.
Roddy is fire. But it's funny because J Rock's vibe wasn't really L.A. That's not because a lot of producers on there, they're not from nowhere near L.A.
But the shit that he says.
Well, yeah, I mean, but he's an OG Watts dude. You know what I'm saying? Like
so that's the old nigga.
He's from a different.
I'm connecting to the old nigga.
Roddy's what, 21?
Oh yeah,
19? Can he drink?
And look, guys, here's the thing.
You know what I'm
wow,
saying?
that's funny. Here's the thing that I want to impart to the young old heads in hip hop. Like, let this decade be the decade in which you listen to something and say, you know what? That's not for me.
Right.
This kid was born after I graduated high school. What he's singing and rapping about is not for me, and it's fine.
And it's okay. Yeah.
And it's okay.
Because you can like it or not, but let's just leave the hater thing.
Let the kids have what they have.
Let them have their
vibe. Let them have what they have.
Because I watched my parents go through that. Some of the stuff was like, yeah, I could vibe with that, and the other stuff they were like, yep, you got that.
And then even when we're talking about content, like I wish my parents were alive. I wish my mother was alive because I don't think my dad was paying attention. But I wish my mom was alive so I could ask her how the hell I got away with running around the house singing "Ain't Too Proud to Beg."
Oh, see, we're not even gonna talk
at 12.
All of those songs. Now that we know what they're actually talking about.
So, also, Kanye's Choir dropped apparently a really, really amazing album.
Did we talk about Kanye's album?
No.
Okay, we're not going to.
Okay, sure, go ahead.
Right. Kanye, no, we're not going to. Sunday School. Actually, you know what?
So the Jesus is King Sunday Service album I've heard is amazing. I'm actually going to refuse it. The other one was called Jesus is King is Kanye's album. Jesus is Born is the Sunday Service album.
So listen, shout out to Kanye for everything that he's done this year, and for those people who enjoy Sunday service.
Oh,
a lot of the homies from the Sunday service had an experience.
Sure.
So. And then his choir, which is
have you been back to church though?
Really dope.
Yeah.
They put out an album, so.
And I've heard it's really, really good.
I heard it's good too.
So I'm gonna listen to it and I'm gonna review it for you guys.
I'm gonna listen to it and not review it for you guys. But I'm gonna listen to it at some point. I'm sorry. I just you know what? It's not even about Kanye. I get turned off by certain conversations around people.
Right. No, me
and
too.
It makes me not
want to fuck with your music anymore.
Right. And
honestly, I'm very like that.
I really I haven't been excited about Kanye the artist in a long time. And that's just me. That's not to say I haven't been excited about things surrounding Kanye or people he's put out.
There were 4 songs on Life of Pablo that I still listen to regularly.
Life of Pablo was decent. It had some bops. But, after that, I'm just, and then I wasn't a Yeezus guy. So.
Well, Kanye will have forever given us College Dropout.
Yeah.
That doesn't count for anything for you?
No, College Dropout was fire. I was just thinking like.
Well, actually, no. Let me take that back.
Kanye
will forever have given us the trifecta that is College Dropout, Late Registration, and Graduation.
Yes.
Together.
Yes.
And if you're of the right age, i.e., like myself, about to turn 40, you know what I mean? Shouts to the 80s babies.
Hey.
All three of us? All three of us in this room turning 40 this year. That's crazy. I was laughing because Spaceship came on the other night. And I remember when I first moved to Atlanta, I worked at a Blockbuster and I listened to Spaceship on every break that I mean, it's fine. It's whatever. Y'all don't understand that when women look a certain way at a certain age, they want everybody to know their age. Hey, you guys, I'm going to be 40 in 2.5 weeks. What's up?
Listen, I don't mind.
What's up?
My gray hairs are to a minimum, so.
You know what I'm saying? I look better at 40 than I did at 20. Ew. But yeah, like I remember listening to that song. That song was what saved my manager from getting cussed out the whole 2 months that I worked at that Blockbuster. And then to see where we're at in life now, like I just, that's
a content piece right there. We got to do a whole content piece on jobs we had where they played music, and we have to remember that music. Like mine was the Austin Powers Goldmember soundtrack.
Mine was working at JW and seeing Daft Punk Around the World video for the first time. I was like, am I sober?
I had to listen to American Woman. Oh, God. And Ricky Martin's Living La Vida Loca.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Every day.
Sounds about right. Oops, I Did It Again was probably in there somewhere.
Man, what a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. Anyway, you guys, we have held you up for way longer than we had intended to.
Way longer than we intended to.
I think that we're going to shoot for about 45 minutes each week.
To an hour.
That's it. Y'all tell us, though, like, if you don't want to listen to us talk this long, whatever, we want your feedback. Again, at Saint Boogie, I want all the smoke at all times. I'm not afraid of it.
At Scissorp215, CI2Zs URP. Don't forget the 215.
He's always here for the smoke. We've almost fallen out because Sis is always ready for the smoke.
I am always ready. It's Philly. I blame Philly.
Oh, it's 100% Philly. The site is at iStandard. That's on all platforms. The website itself is iStandardProducers.com.
Yes.
So you could catch us on the website on Thursday mornings, or you could watch us on YouTube Live on on Wednesday afternoons at 3 o'clock. Yeah.
We are holding it down for the creative community, for the music lovers, man. Listen, we bringing that old thing back. So,
favorite song of 2019, like just real quick, so we could like whatever first comes to your head. I got two.
I'm gonna let you go.
Already by Beyonce and Yeah by Burna Boy. That's my two.
I'm gonna have to go with...
And Toast by Coffee.
Was that this year?
Yes.
How do we not talk about Coffee?
I don't know how we didn't talk about Coffee.
How do we...
Because Coffee was another one of those albums that was really, really good. But like, did you go back and listen?
I listen to that song all the time. That song is in my playlist.
Did you go back and listen to the album?
No, I have 2 of her songs on my playlist though. So I can't listen to whole albums anymore. I just have playlists like you have, and I do mine each season. So I have my winter playlist, my spring playlist, my summer playlist.
Yo, my favorite playlist right now, Google Play has a station called Global Bops. And I put that station on one time and just saved that whole queue that they had in there. It's like a little bit of Afro beats, a little reggae, it's a little R&B, hip hop that sounds kind of like it's from somewhere else. It's amazing.
I am so ashamed that we did not talk about the one of arguably we didn't talk about Cordae. Hold on, we didn't talk about 2. We didn't talk about Cordae. Okay. And we did not talk about Igor.
I haven't listened to Igor. So
Igor.
You talk about Igor, I talk about Cordae.
Listen, Igor's... I might release my chopping block that I almost finished just because I spent so much time on it. Like, I studied that album.
You know what? Actually, you guys, like, tell us if there's anything, or maybe we should go through and figure it out, if there's anything that we didn't talk about or anything that you feel like we should have listened to in 2019. And we'll go through and we'll listen to them and review them.
But Igor was a moment, and Igor is on a lot of people's top lists, and it's not by mistake. That album is amazing. Tyler is a student
Mm-hmm.
of the game. He's a student of music, and you can hear it in everything he creates. And I've been a big Tyler fan for years. Wolf, even all the old Our Future stuff, but his stuff's so underrated because he's a creative's creative.
Okay.
And I appreciate him because he does things that nobody else can do by themselves.
Right.
Other people need 300 people in a room, over a 10-week period to create what he does by himself. So
that was one.
Igor is it. Like Magic is my favorite song off of there. And then YB and Cordae Lost Boy. I mean, this kid really came into his own. And he just delivered some serious fire. I was rooting for him since Old Niggas. It's an almost flawless album.
It is a really good album.
It's an almost flawless album. And everybody, if you have not listened to it, you need to go listen to it. Nightmares Are Real is my favorite joint. Him and Pusha T. All the joints in there are fire. Even Chance the Rapper. We didn't talk about Chance the Rapper's album.
I haven't listened to Chance the Rapper's album.
We didn't talk Chance the Rapper's album because it wasn't really a good album.
That's what y'all said.
It wasn't.
That's what the internet told me.
But Chance the Rapper was great on Bad Idea.
Chance the Rapper was also great on Gospel by the Baby. Maybe Chance just needs to do features for a little while.
I mean, maybe. Or maybe he just needs to let somebody have control over the production of his album.
Either way.
Because that was a
Well, he canceled his tour.
Well, good. Go back to the drawing board. Come out with something that's going to hit the way it should. Because I think Chance has got it in him. Chance has put out good projects before.
Can Chance ever outdo Coloring Book?
Probably not.
That's got to be a weird ass feeling as an artist.
Probably not.
Coloring Book was fucking amazing. Coloring Book is your favorite gospel album.
That's also a problem with a lot of these artists. Is a lot of them can't outdo what they've done before. That's tough to do.
And you know what, you guys? It's okay to go away. Word to K7.
It is okay to go away. It's okay to evolve.
That's how I brought that all back together.
There are other things you can do in life. There are other jobs in music you can take on. You can also put young people on.
You could put young people on.
You could stop being the star, and you could put somebody else on.
Listen, if people would stop... Actually, fun fact. One of Cordae's managers is a kid who once said to me, man, I just want to, get one ringtone deal, make about like $1 million, and then I'll be done. And he used to always have all these connections on the business side. And I used to always say to myself, like, why are you even trying to be an artist? You should clearly be somebody's manager. And now he's one of the guys behind the whole YBN team.
I got one last thing to say.
It's probably not going to be the last thing.
Meek Mill.
Oh, shit. Meek Mill dropped an album, didn't he?
So he dropped an album actually at the end of December. He dropped an album on December 22nd.
Oh, he dropped an album I haven't heard.
You didn't hear Championships?
December 22nd, 2019?
Oh, that was 2018.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I still haven't heard it, though. But
you still haven't heard that?
No.
Okay, we're just trying to make sure we didn't get nothing.
Listen.
That's all.
Meek had a great year.
Meek did have a good year.
Meek had an amazing year. That documentary was absolutely a moment. Meek on social media, I think, is enjoyable to watch. But yeah, no,
Going Bad was a moment.
I've been tired of Meek yelling at me for quite some time.
Going Bad was a moment.
Going Bad was a great moment.
Going Bad was an absolute
Drake making music with all of Rihanna's exes.
It was a moment.
Been a moment.
Oh, Indigo. We didn't talk about Indigo.
Because it's fucking 30 tracks.
But listen,
no one has time.
It's platinum. Shout to all my homies on Indigo, dog. Chris Brown puts all the homies on. He puts all the homies on. They make money. They put out videos. Like, he's the ultimate playlist guy.
Do you remember what I said to you when that album dropped?
Nah.
I said, hey, sis, after you listen to these 32 songs, let me know what 10 I need.
I was trying to remember the 45 I listened to on the last
right.
Album. And then the Christmas version.
I need somebody to be the official Chris Brown album condenser. I'm not giving you 32 songs, my nigga. No.
What was the joint? Did the joint with him and Danny Lee come out this year? Because I think the Easy remix. They danced in the video. Like,
I think I purposely tune him out because he keeps trying to force feed me 175 songs on one album. And I'm like, fuck you, Christopher. You're not going to make me.
You making a lot of people bags, Chris. Keep it up. The creative community loves you. I mean, absolutely. That man
Would we love him less if those were 3 10-song albums, though? No. We would not.
All of them gonna go if all of them is charting. I mean, listen, this man is responsible for so many people's plaques and situations, and he done got people pub deals and like the creative community loves you, Chris. Keep doing it. Make 100 songs. I mean, bitches
love
album.
you too, except for me. It's fine. It's just me, Chris. And again, I'm stopping no bags, and I just want
Chris,
y'all to
if you
again
was in
have
front of her, she'd love you.
No, I wouldn't. But I just want us again to remember in 2020 that, like, you know, just don't stop nobody bags. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't telling nobody else not to listen to Chris Brown. I want to listen to Chris Brown. I just need somebody to tell me what 10 songs. Right. They gave me, what is it called? No role models. No, what is it called? No patience. No, what's the song with Drake called? What is it called?
No guidance.
No guidance. I mean, I know it's nothing that's in the hook. I'm showing my age. It's nothing that's in the hook. They told me to listen to No Guidance.
Did you watch the video?
I fuck with No Guidance. Probably not. I
couldn't fire. They're doing a dance. You got to see Drake trying to dance.
Oh no.
He tried to have a dance competition with Chris Brown.
And I gotta watch videos.
Yeah. I love videos, man. I love videos.
Okay, you guys.
Oh, so, also Lana Del Rey.
I told y'all that was the last thing.
For all my alternative listeners, Lana Del Rey dropped a really dope album.
You know, I was listening to that earlier, and I was like, I can see, like, there's an alternate universe thanks to that show Animal Kingdom on TNT.
Oh, I love it.
There's an alternate universe where I'm like growing weed in Northern California somewhere.
I was just gonna say you have to be somewhere. You need sand and a beach house, and it has to be overcast.
No, it doesn't even have to be overcast. If I was living that life where I'm just living on a beach, Lana Del Rey is what I'm like stretching to and like doing my light cleanup in the morning before I start doing my work.
And Taylor Swift happened too.
Except for that one day when I woke up listening to Lana Del Rey, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Anyway, you guys. Next Thursday, 3 o'clock, YouTube Live. Next Wednesday, 3 o'clock, YouTube Live. Or next Thursday, next Thursday morning, because you're listening to this one already.
Well, whenever we get a sponsor and they figure out when they want us to.
No.
We're free agents.
Nah, but we're free agents with fucking, you know what I mean? They got to come in and, you know what I mean? So, next Wednesday, 3 p.m., YouTube, or whenever you watch it on YouTube. Right. And in the audio, if you don't want to look at our mugs, and it's fine, but I'm prettier than anybody else out here talking about fucking beats.
I got a cool scarf on. Come on, you Spurs.
He's got a cool soccer scarf on. If you don't want to look at us and you just want to listen, then, you know, it's live on Thursday morning for you. iStandardProducers.com. We out.